Scout. Hey, have you seen my book? Honey, I've been looking everywhere for that book. Give me that. This is not a book for kids, okay?
Robots have brains.
The robots have... No, get out of here. Go play. Go on. Get. All right, Scout, are you all ready to go to school? Do you need me to drive you or are you going to walk?
I'll walk.
You'll walk? Okay. Well, have a good day at school.
Robots have brains.
My kid's a weirdo. What?
Identify yourself, or I will shoot. You are under arrest. Mission accomplished.
That was just in case any of you were wondering if 2025 was going to be the year I start taking myself seriously. Probably not. Anyway, let's talk about the author. Sidney James Bounds was an English author born November 4th, 1920, and he died in 2006 at the age of 86. Bounds was an electrician, but turned his focus to writing full-time after his first short story was published in Outlands magazine's sole issue. He wrote under 9 pseudonyms and multiple house names including Clifford Wallace, Rex Marlowe, and Earl Ellison. He is primarily known for his horror short stories, though he did dozens of SF as well as multiple westerns and mysteries. In fact, he wrote hundreds of short stories, many anonymously, so good luck landing on an exact number. Bounds published over 30 novels, though only 4 or so were science fiction. His short story, The Animators, was made into a 2013 film, The Last Days on Mars, which flopped pretty hard, but that's neither here nor there. Which brings us to the robot brains. Brains without soul, giant blonde creatures. They were as curvaceous as the bodies of their dwarf men were shriveled. Captain Christian was the only human who'd ever laid eyes on them, and now he wished he hadn't. They were a beauty without heart, rule, hold, and he was their prisoner. The Robot Brains was an original story first published by Digit Books in 1957. I own this weird Unibook edition, which is 192 pages and originally cost 95 cents. But I have no idea when it was printed. They reference the 67 Arcadia house, but obviously the book was copyrighted by Digit a decade earlier. I don't know, it's really weird. This here was a Christmas gift by my buddy Nick over at the Book Graveyard. As soon as I saw this cover, I knew I had to read it ASAP. The artist is unknown, the Uni edition is kinda blurry, but that doesn't detract from the sheer amount of pulp. This is a pulpy treat, and from the threatening robot to the font, I love it. I wasn't able to find a first edition anywhere on the web, but any paperback edition you want goes for just a couple bucks. Alright, let's talk about what I liked.
Step right up.
This story is absolute bonkers. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but I did not know what to expect from page to page. The back synopsis takes one scene kind of out of context, so you could just forget all about that. There has been a string of mysterious murders. They are all scientists in the top of their fields, all of them on the cusp of a breakthrough that can change the course of human history, and all found without their heads, completely decapitated with a cauterized stump. Dr. Fox has a theory. He notices that these murders are taking place while this certain circus is in town. He goes to the police. Unfortunately, they don't believe him. They ignore him. So he has to enlist the help of his friend, Captain Christian. So Christian goes undercover at the fair and finds the main attraction, the brains, to be highly suspect. These brains are 3 nearly identical dwarfs in matching spaceman suits and giant bulbous heads. You can win £5 if you're able to ask a question that the brains can't answer. Unfortunately, no one has been successful. But there's something about these brains, something evil. Christian gets too close to the truth and is then framed for murder. So he's in the countryside, on the run from the police and these enigmatic brains, who seem to have this uncanny ability to appear and disappear anywhere they want. It's a pretty solid setup, wouldn't you say? Not bad. Now, if I told you from there we would read about the time travel war, 9-foot-tall curvaceous blondes, a genocidal modern-day Khan, an overrun hydroponic jungle with Tarzan's female equivalent, post-apocalyptic wasteland, World War III, genetically modified potatoes, massive killer bugs, robots with spinning blade arms, heat rays, the cure to racism, and a touching romance with a little person, would you believe me? Honestly, it's a bit much, but I got a lot of enjoyment from the near constant bewilderment. The cover. That's really the best part of this book, and maybe the only good part. And now, the bad. The title doesn't make any sense. There are brains, and later in the book there are robots, but the brains are not robots. In fact, when we are introduced to the robots, the book goes out of its way to explain to us that they're automated, how non-sentient these robots are. So why was this called the robot brains? The decapitators. These are these ray guns that decapitate. It doesn't even seem to matter where you get hit, you just cleanly lose your head. It's silly, it's kind of lazy, and I think it just sounded like it was a cool idea to Sydney. I got this cool idea. How about a laser pistol that makes your head pop off? The dialogue is super campy. Normally I don't mind camp at all, but this just had a very amateurish feel to it. There are some major plot holes. I mean, we're talking gaping plot holes. Here, I'll give you one as an example. These brains are posing as a sideshow exhibit to cover up these murders.
Murder?
What was that you said?
I said murder.
What murder?
Well, I don't know. You said murder.
I said murder. You said murder.
Okay, but later we learn that they're able to travel to any time and any location they want instantaneously from the future. Why would you need a cover story if you can just pop in and out of any time that you want? They totally brushed over this fact later in the book and they just become instantaneous time assassins, but like, why are they hanging out at this fair? Why are they hanging out at this fair in the first? But the plot needed to happen, so whatever. Near the end, they discover that the brains have holed up in this technical institute and made this their base of operations. Now, why do you need a base of operations when you can travel through time? Whatever. Okay. Anyway, the heroes decide to drop an atomic bomb on that building. An atomic bomb. You could cut the tension between Captain Christian and this circus dwarf named Joe with a knife. It seriously makes you wonder if old Sid had a thing for short gals. There's kind of this constant will they, won't they, and if I'm being honest, it was kind of cute. But then Christian is gone for a few days. He comes back and discovers that Joe the dwarf has married his best friend, Dr. Fox. Dang it. Well, anyway, but you win some, you lose some, right? Anyway, he goes away for another day and bang, she's pregnant. Now, I don't claim to be an expert in dwarfism, so correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm under the assumption that, though high risk, the gestational period of a little person is probably quite similar to an average human female. Like, they're human too. Like, are they able to tell that they're pregnant the day after they get married? But Sidney J. Bounds was never married, and as far as I can tell, he never had any kids, so maybe nobody told him about the birds and the bees. Even little birds and little bees. There is not a scene where Captain Christian is not chewing on a cheroot cigar. This became a writing crutch. Somebody says something, Christian pulls out a cheroot. There's an attempt on his life. He chews on a cheroot. He's about to say something tough. Spits, flicks a cheroot cigar. Giant mutated bugs are pursuing him across a freezing desert. Boy, I wish I had a cheroot cigar. The main character is not Captain Christian. The main character is a cigar. The brains, the smartest beings in history, have been pursuing Captain Christian, attempting to kill him over and over again. Finally, they have him, but instead of killing him, they capture him and take him back into the future. Instead of killing him in the future, what they do is they They kind of give him some food and say, all right, you're free to look around, free to wander around, but you better not try to escape. Anyway, yeah, just don't go back through time. You're free to wander. We're going to kill you. We're actually going to torture and kill you later. But do not try and to escape, okay? If you escape, we'll kill you. No attempting to escape. But yeah, you can go through this jungle here, hang out with the women, go talk to that person, have a good time, have some more food. But if you try to escape, we're going to kill you. Can't wait to kill you tomorrow. Dang it, he escaped. So what's the verdict? Thrift Shop, sitting on the shelf at 2 out of 5. It's pretty dumb and not worth reading, but a rad cover like this will save you from the Pulp machine every time. And that is my review of The Robot Brain. So tell me, have you read this or anything else by Sidney J. Bounds? Let us know in the comments down below. Wait, I got a better question. Would you rather marry a 1950s circus dwarf or a 9-foot-tall space woman? Let us know in the comments below, where you will be mercilessly judged. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time with Testament 21!
You get the light touch with the right taste for only a dime. Why don't you pick one up and smoke it sometime?